So what if I told you there are secret rooms and arc raiders hiding some of the best weapons and gear in the game, and the game never tells you they even exist? These aren't beginner zones either. Every single one of these rooms are in a very high difficulty destination packed with enemies that would absolutely delete you if you're not ready. But here's the twist. Every one of these secret rooms have a Speranza extraction point right next to it. So if you survive, you grab the loot and bounce instantly. So today I'm breaking down 3 of the best secret loot rooms in Arc Raiders. From you can probably handle this to only go here if you're absolutely cracked. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is part 1. So a quick warning before we get started. Do not walk into these places under geared. These rooms are in high difficulty areas, enemies hit harder, and they're more aggressive, and mistakes can wipe you out. But if you play it smart, these spots are insane for fast power spikes, better weapons, and quick extractions. Alright, so the first one is going to be in the Blue Gate, then we're going to head over to the Buried City, and then we're going to finish in the Spaceport. So spot number 1 is going to be the Blue Gate destination. This right here has a base level 4 of high difficulty, so you better not get comfortable. You better be on your P's and Q's. Alright, so you want to come to this structure right behind the warehouse complex. And you're going to zip down into the maintenance wing traffic tunnel area. And you'll know you're in the right place when you see the maintenance structures feeding into the main traffic tunnel. And most players just sprint straight through the areas toward their objectives and never look twice at these side corridors. Alright, so you're going to go in here and you're going to use this zip line. And it's going to take you straight up to this area. You're going to see this computer console right in front of you. Now you're going to go ahead and interact with it. What's going to happen, you're either going to get a red, blue, or yellow screen. It's random. Since I got the blue screen, this blue screen is letting me know there is a secret room that I need to go to that can have gear and weapons inside of it. If you look right in front of you on the walls, there are arrows telling you exactly where you need to go. So if you got a blue screen, you'll just follow the blue arrow. If you got a yellow screen, you will follow the yellow arrow. If you got a red screen, just follow the red arrow. Now you can only do this 1 time per run, so to come back to this room again, you will need to extract and come back to get another computer screen. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the zip line down, and I'm gonna go ahead and follow exactly where the arrow is telling me to go. And as you can see, there's another arrow telling me, hey, I'm going the right way, so just keep going left. And you can see another blue arrow is on the floor, and you see this blue X marks the spot. So here's my loot. Random loot can spawn in, but you see I just got me an epic tier weapon. So I extracted back to Speranza and I came back, and as you can see this time I got me a red monitor, so I'm just going to follow the red arrow. So I'm just going to simply follow the exact same sequence that I did the last time. Like I said, just following the arrows. You see the X on the spot. I'm going to go to the console, and look here, I just got 2 more epic weapons. And just know enemies around this area will punish you, so don't take bad fights. But if it's very controlled space, clear 1 angle at a time, don't overextend into the tunnels, and you're fine. Here's the best part. The Speranza extraction point is basically right next door. From this room, you can rotate straight through the tunnel, make sure you hit that zip line, stick to cover, and you'll be able to extract within seconds. Now, this is a great combo because you get strong loot potential, short paths, and nearby extractions, making this perfect for if you're someone newer to higher content, but ready to push your gear to the next level. Alright, let's crank it up. Spot number 2 takes us to the Buried City. Now this one is a level 3 difficulty, but don't make that mistake. It will punish you if you slip. Alright, so we're heading to the Pisa Rome apartments building, specifically apartment number 2. And you'll know you're close when you see the apartment block with the distinct facade and balcony lines. This is your landmark. Most people see apartment buildings and just think, yeah, this is background decoration and move on. That's a mistake. You're looking for A2 entrance right here. There's 2 ways to get to this room. First, both ways, you do want to take this zip line right here that I'm taking. Now, the first way, you're going to come through this area, you're going to pass by these stairs, you're going to take a left, and then you're going to make another left. Now you're going to come all the way down to this corridor right here. Now there's going to be a set of stairs that's going to be to your left, and a lot of people just jump to it, but I have a hard time. So I just fall all the way down to the bottom right here, and I just go straight over here to this door. This is the room. However, I will tell you that was from a few weeks ago, but it seems like now there is a patch. So as of today, this is me currently trying to do it. As you can see, I'm trying to do it, and it literally makes me bounce off the platform and fall off the edge. but there is a way you could kind of catch yourself, but it seems very hard. And like I said, I tried this like 9 times today and I almost died a few times trying to do it, and I could not stick that landing. However, there is another way to get to the stairs so you can get into that building. Now it's going to be a little longer route, not too much longer, but let me show you real quick. You want to go right back into the Plaza Roma apartment A2, take the exact same zip line. This time after you get off the zip line, take the stairs and go all the way to the top of the roof of the building. And as you see, if you run over here to the left, there's going to be that set of stairs that I was telling you about. So you want to go ahead and just climb down. Alright, then you want to jump from the stairs over to the ledge and catch yourself on the ledge. Once you go into the room, there's going to be random loot catches that spawn in different places within inside the room. And it will give you all type of random loot, and it really just depends on how many times you keep farming this room. Also, make sure you check every loot spot in this room because, man, you can find some great things. Like you just saw, I just found that kinetic converter, and man, that right there is a legendary, and that's the highest tier of loot. So inside these rooms, you can pull high tier weapons, rare crafting materials, and components you'll use to push your builds into late game territory. The only catch is the enemies are absolute demons compared to most of what you fight early on, so make sure to play smart and choose your fights only when you need to. So to get out of here in this track, just climb back up the stairs that you just climbed down from, or you could just fall down to the bottom of the ledge if you want to the ground. And you can just take the stairs all the way down, or you could catch the zip line and go down. And what's pretty cool about this situation is it's a Speranza extraction point very close to this route. You can access it through the nearby Western Station subway system. So just rotate out the building after you come down the zip line, cut through this area, and you're basically at the extraction with your bag full of high value gear. But also make sure you watch out for other players as well, because some of them will try to rat you out and take your gear, so make sure you put your stuff in a safe pocket. Like I said, that loot spot is amazing for players who are already comfortable in high difficulty and who want a bigger jump in loot quality without doing a full extended clear of entire zones. Alright, so now let's talk about the real test, and that's the spaceport destination. Now Embark says this is only a difficult level 3. However, the area we're going to, man, there are a lot of big art, and my god do they hit hard. Please make sure you have the proper gear and run with caution, because you can see in the background how I got taken out pretty easily. We're going to the spaceport main grounds, specifically the facility supporting buildings underground tunnel system. Now this is right between the launch towers and the control tower A6, pretty much dead center on the map. But when you're in the underground tunnels, this is the exact same spot where the room is gonna be. Now there's probably like 6 or 7 entry levels, including this big building to my left, but I like to go around to this area because it makes it real close to the exact same room where I'm gonna get the loot from. So just go down the tunnel, make sure you go to the left. Make sure you move very cautious in these tunnels because the layout is tight, the angles are brutal, and you could get pinched if you get rushed by a player or arc. So just go over here behind this dirty little divider, and here is that loot room that I was telling you guys about. Now just know, every single run you're not going to get a home run. However, in this exact room you could get purple tier weapons, potential legendaries, high-end enhanced modules, and top tier crafting material. And like I said, it's a case-by-case basis when you do a run. However, I would suggest hitting these areas instead of just doing random farming to get your high tier loot. Once you're done looting, you can climb back out the tunnel and make your way toward this extraction, which is positioned close enough that you're not forced into a marathon run through the entire spaceport while overextended. Now don't get me wrong, it's still dangerous. You're moving through a mid-map in a high threat zone, but the distance is short enough that a disciplined team can make it out consistently. So that's 3 secret loot rooms and arc raiders that can seriously change how you progress your account. Now every one of these live in a very high difficult destination, so don't underestimate how hard these areas can hit. So go in with a plan, bring good weapons, armor, heals. Don't be afraid to back off if runs go sideways. But the reason these spots are so good and simple is they have strong loot behind hidden doors and Speranza extraction points close enough to make those risky dives actually worth it. You want more than just random runs and wasted time. Start building these rooms into your route. For newer players, I would say start with something like the Buried City, then you could graduate later to like Blue Gate or either Spaceport. My grinders in the sweats, the Blue Gates is where you really test your builds and your squad. If this helped you out, I got more Arc Raiders content coming from efficient farming paths, to loadout breakdowns for these exact high difficulty zones. So hit that like if you learned something, subscribe if you want more no BS arc raider breakdowns, and drop a comment if you found any other secret rooms I should check out. I'm Ibetonme. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. And if you do want to see more arc raider how-to video guides, I would suggest you watch this playlist next. Also, don't forget to like and sub. You guys have a great day. Peace.